It begins quietly, the kind of quiet that tricks you into underestimating what's coming. A routine drive, a familiar road, the sort of journey you've made dozens of times without a second thought. Then the snow thickens, the road loses its edges. The horizon disappears. Your tires stop responding the way they should, and before long, you're no longer driving, you're waiting. Minutes pass. The engine hums, but the world outside has sealed itself shut. Fuel drops, visibility collapses, and the realization sets in with uncomfortable clarity. This is no longer a delay. This is a survival situation. History is full of moments like this. Ordinary people caught in extraordinary conditions.
Ow!
Some lived because they followed instincts sharpened by knowledge. Others didn't because they waited too long to act. The difference was rarely strength or luck. It was timing and decision-making under pressure. This is where you take control. Not after the engine dies. Not after the cold takes hold. Right now, while the machine still works for you. There is a narrow window where your vehicle is more than transportation. It is a tool, a shelter, a system you can prepare for what comes next. What you do in these moments determines everything that follows. This is your shutdown protocol. Not theory, not guesswork, but a set of deliberate actions grounded in real-world survival and reinforced by hard lessons from past disasters. 6 steps, each one simple on its own. Together, they turn a stranded car into a controlled environment designed to keep you alive. Heat is your most valuable resource, and it disappears faster than most people realize. The moment the engine stops, the system producing warmth vanishes, and what remains is whatever you managed to trap before that point. Most people make the mistake of treating warmth as something passive, something they can hold on to just by sitting still. That assumption has cost lives in past winter emergencies. From stalled convoys in the Alps to isolated motorists in North American blizzards, the key is not maintaining warmth, but storing it. Before shutting down the engine, you turn the cabin into a reservoir. Raise the temperature well beyond comfort. Let the interior surfaces absorb that heat, the seats, the dashboard, even the metal frame beneath the panels. All of it becomes a thermal battery. Materials with mass-release heat slowly, buying you time after the engine goes silent. This principle echoes what polar expeditions learned generations ago. Explorers in Antarctica would heat stones or metal objects before sleeping, knowing those items would continue radiating warmth through the night. Your vehicle works the same way if you use it correctly. While the heat is running, use it to prepare water. Snow is not hydration. It is a liability unless melted. Let the car do the work while it still can. But once the engine stops, every calorie your body burns to melt snow is heat you cannot afford to lose. Power is temporary. Once the engine shuts down, your alternator stops charging and everything electrical begins to drain. Cold accelerates that process, weakening batteries and reducing efficiency. That makes communication time sensitive. This is where precision matters. You do not wait until things worsen. You act while you still have power and signal. Send messages, not long calls. A short, clear text containing your location, condition, and decision to remain with the vehicle is far more effective than repeated failed attempts to connect by voice. There is a persistent myth about recording emergency voicemails to share your location. It sounds clever, but falls apart under real conditions. It requires signal stability, time, and unnecessary battery use. In survival, efficiency beats creativity. You conserve energy for actions that produce results. Search and rescue teams consistently emphasize one rule: stay with the vehicle. Cars are visible. People walking in whiteout conditions are not. Your phone is your link to that reality, but only if you treat it as a limited resource. Turn off unnecessary functions. Keep it warm. Protect every percentage of battery life as if it were fuel. Carbon monoxide has no warning signs.
No smell.
No color, no immediate sensation that alerts you to danger. That's why it has been responsible for so many deaths in winter survival scenarios, often when people believed they were safe inside their vehicles. Snow doesn't just fall, it shifts, builds around the rear of a stationary car, forming drifts that block the exhaust path. When that happens, fumes are forced back toward the vehicle, slipping inside through small gaps and vents. The result is silent and fast. The solution is simple, but it requires action at the right time. While the engine is still running and your body is still warm enough to function effectively, step outside and clear the exhaust area. Create space behind the tailpipe. Ensure airflow has a path away from the vehicle. This isn't dramatic work. It's methodical. It's the kind of step that separates those who prepare from those who assume. Many historical accounts of winter fatalities include the same overlooked detail: blocked exhaust. It's a small task with enormous consequences. Moisture is an underestimated enemy. Every breath you exhale releases water vapor. In a sealed, cold environment, that moisture accumulates. It dampens clothing, reduces insulation efficiency, and accelerates heat loss. Over time, it creates a colder environment than the outside temperature alone would suggest. Managing this requires a counterintuitive approach. Before shutting down the engine, run both heat and air conditioning together. The air conditioning system removes moisture from the air, producing a dry heat that is far more effective for long-term survival. This principle has been studied in modern vehicle systems, especially in extreme climates, where condensation affects performance. The takeaway is simple. Dry air preserves warmth better than humid air. A small opening in a window, positioned correctly, allows controlled airflow. It prevents buildup of both moisture and dangerous gases. It may feel wrong to allow cold air inside, but survival often involves small sacrifices that prevent larger problems. Snow transforms the environment into a uniform field. Shapes disappear, colors fade, vehicles become indistinguishable from their surroundings. In these conditions, visibility becomes as critical as warmth. Rescue teams rely on contrast. Anything that breaks the visual pattern stands out. Bright fabrics, reflective materials, even simple objects tied to the exterior of the car can make the difference between being found and being overlooked. History offers repeated examples of this principle. Lost expeditions have been located because of a single visible marker, something unnatural against the landscape. The same applies here. Your goal is to disrupt the uniformity of the snow. Battery-powered signals like hazard lights should be used sparingly. They are effective, but they consume energy you may need later. Passive signals, objects that require no power, are more reliable over time. Survival does not end when the storm passes. Many people endure the cold only to find themselves unable to move when conditions improve. Snow melts slightly under pressure, then refreezes into solid ice. Tires become locked in place. Preventing this requires small, controlled movement before shutting down. I'll rock the vehicle gently. Compress the snow beneath the tires without spinning them. This creates a stable surface that reduces the chance of freezing into place. This technique mirrors methods used in early polar travel, where sleds were shifted periodically to prevent runners from freezing to the ice. The principle remains unchanged. Movement prevents entrapment. Inside the car, everyday items become tools. Floor mats can provide traction when placed under tires. Knowing this in advance saves time and energy later. When everything is prepared, the moment comes to turn the engine off. The silence that follows is significant. The system that sustained you is gone, and now the environment you created must carry you forward. Insulation becomes critical. Windows are the weakest points, allowing heat to escape rapidly. Cover them using whatever materials are available. Create layers, trap air, build a barrier between you and the cold. Position matters. Sitting upright restricts circulation and increases heat loss. A reclined or curled position conserves energy more effectively. If others are present, shared body heat becomes a powerful resource. Timing your clothing layers is just as important. Adding insulation too early leads to sweating, which increases heat loss later. Staying dry is essential. The final challenge is time. Survival becomes a matter of managing resources and maintaining mental clarity. Short, controlled engine restarts can replenish heat, but only if done carefully and with awareness of fuel levels and exhaust conditions. Hydration remains important even when thirst is absent. Dehydration worsens the body's ability to regulate temperature. Snow must always be melted before consumption to avoid draining body heat. Food provides the energy needed to sustain warmth. Slow-burning nutrients are more effective than quick bursts of sugar. Every calorie contributes to maintaining core temperature. The mental aspect cannot be ignored. Panic leads to poor decisions. Structure creates stability. Observing conditions, making small adjustments, and maintaining focus turn a chaotic situation into a manageable one. Across history, survival has consistently favored those who prepare and adapt. From early explorers crossing frozen landscapes to modern motorists caught in sudden storms, the outcome has always hinged on decisions made under pressure. A blizzard strips away comfort and illusion, leaving only reality. But it does not remove control. By following these steps, storing heat, securing communication, clearing hazards, controlling the environment, signaling effectively, and preparing for movement, you shift the balance in your favor. You are no longer reacting, you are managing. Before the next winter journey, take inventory. Small items, blankets, tools, bright markers, carry disproportionate value when conditions turn hostile. Preparation is immediate insurance. If this deep dive sharpened your instincts and added something real to your understanding of survival, share your own insights below. And subscribe for more lessons drawn from history. Lessons that don't just inform, but prepare you for the moments that matter most.